Hello, this is Kylie from Hello Crafter, and this is one of the 3 card designs that we're doing in my monthly card class in May. And for this one, I'm showcasing the 5 brand new in colours from Stampin' Up. So we're going to be doing some cutting of the card into strips and doing this really simple, fun design. So we just have a standard white card base for this card. This is just an A5 sheet of card scored in half, and we have a white matte layer here, and this measures 13.8 centimetres by 9.5 centimetres. And I've got a selection of cards here, and this has been cut to the same size as that white matte layer so that we can cut our strips vertically or horizontally if we wanted to. And this is where we're going to just cut some strips from. So you are going to need a trimmer and some glue, and I am also going to do some stamping onto my card using this Flowers of Friendship stamp set, but you can use any stamp set that you want to on this card. The first thing I'm going to do is create my paper strips, and I'm going to create a range of different widths of strips, but they're all going to be fairly narrow. So I'm going to do some that are 1/2 centimetre, some that are 1 centimetre, and the widest ones I'm going to go up to 1.5 centimetres. I'm going to keep them quite narrow, but you can do yours chunky if you want to. You can also create your strips exactly the same width so it keeps them all consistent, but I'm just going to create a range, and it doesn't have to be perfect either, so you don't have to be millimetre accurate for this technique. So if I just chop away some skinny ones and some wider ones, then I've got a nice range to create my cards with. You'll notice that I'm using the measurements to the right of the groove, and this makes it easier to trim if you're right-handed, especially because you've got something to grip onto. If you use the measurements on this side, it's really hard to keep your piece of card steady. So for narrow strips of 3 centimetres or less, then I use this side to measure. So once you've got some strips cut, then bring back your white matte layer, and you can get creative now with gluing your strips down. So you can put these down vertically, horizontally, or at an angle. You can fill the whole piece up with paper strips, or you can just do a small area and leave the rest white for stamping a sentiment. So it's totally up to you. I'm going to go horizontally on this one. So I'm going to put a bit of glue just on the white matte piece here rather than onto my strip, because I've got a lot of overhang on this one. So I'll get my first one down, try and get it as straight. I can use my background grid paper actually to help me line it up to make sure that it's quite straight. And once my first one's down, then I can just start laying the others down right next to it. So again, with some glue on the white mat. And I can build up my design. So once you're happy with the amount of strips, you can trim off anything that's overhanging. So just turn it round and use your scissors just to chop those off. So you could just add a simple sentiment to this card now, but I'm actually going to use these flower stamps here just to create a bit of a design over the top of these strips. Just using black ink. I'm going to ink it up really well, and when I stamp down, I'm just going to make sure I hold it there and make sure I have even pressure over every bit of the stamp. And this is because my cardstock's my cardstock strips may not be completely flat, and it might result in some areas that just don't quite stamp properly, so just be careful when you're stamping. Also, if you've got a stamp that is larger and goes off the edge of your paper strips, you may find that you get a little gap in the stamped image where the cardstock ends and the mat begins. So just be aware of that, and you should be fine. So I'll put a couple more of these flowers on here. Just taking my time to get a nice even stamp. I'm even going to go off actually and put one down here as well. And I'm going to use a sentiment from the same set and just add that right here. So this just needs to be glued onto my card front now. So here's my 3 versions of the same card, just in different orientations. I hope you enjoyed that, and please give it a go, and I'll love to see what you come up with. See you soon, bye.